The topic of this video is analyzing the graph of a rational function. Let's look at a problem. R of x equals x divided by the binomial x squared minus 16. All right, so I've got a shortcut list of all of the steps that we need to go through in order to create the graph and analyze this rational function. Let's begin at the top with the domain. All right, so domain, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to factor the denominator. Our denominator is x squared minus 16. We know that we have to make sure that it is not equal to 0, because for a domain, we're not allowed to divide by 0. When we factor this difference of squares, we get an x plus 4 times an x minus 4, so those are both not equal to 0. By the zero product property, x plus 4 is not 0, x minus 4 is not 0, so we get x is not negative 4, x is not 4. So our domain, which we will keep track of here at the bottom, is the set of all x such that x is real, x is not equal to negative 4, and x is not equal to positive 4. All right, domain, done. Step 2, holes. So to find holes, we have to factor the numerator of r and then write r in lowest terms. Any canceled factors will create a hole. Well, the interesting thing about this problem is that our numerator is just an x. There's nothing we can do to factor that further. So even if we were to rewrite our function in this form, where we factor the denominator, nothing is going to cancel top and bottom. So what that means is that this particular graph has no holes. All right, let's move on to step 3, intercepts and multiplicity. All right, there are two kinds of intercepts, x-intercept and y-intercept. So for our function, r of x is the same thing as y, so we can write y equals x over the difference x squared minus 16. Let's start by finding x-intercepts. With x-intercepts, y is equal to 0, so we replace it with 0, and we get 0 equals x over x squared minus 16. Now, the only way for a fraction to equal 0 is if its numerator equals 0. So this tells me that x equals 0, and we know that y equals 0, so one of our intercepts is the origin, 0, 0. So our x-intercept is the origin, 0, 0. All right, let's look for y-intercepts. Well, with a y-intercept, we let x be equal to 0. So using our same equation, y equals 0 over 0 squared minus 16. 0 squared is 0, and 0 minus 16 is negative 16. And 0 divided by negative 16 equals 0. So we get the same point, 0, 0. So our x-intercept is 0, 0. Our y-intercept is also 0, 0. So there's only one intercept in this particular problem. All right, so we've completed steps 1, 2, and 3. We will continue on with the next steps in our next video.